Here's your reminder that the ESRB just rubber stamps things that comes across its desk with this generic warning prior to an intro montage with redacted bars, because we still have to wait for longer than any other year for a reveal of the next installment of the franchise before the title screen, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which is an awfully long title, but they needed to stick the branding in somehow because Activision dodges new IPs like Neo and the Matrix. After a disclaimer acknowledging bowing down to get the Sony money, we get a date, 1968, and the sound of Creedence Clearwater Revival means it's Viet fucking Nam. Sick! I knew that Sledgehammer Games was developing a Vietnam-era Call of Duty third-person style game back when the real Infinity Ward left us with the husk of a studio of the same name that's delivered 3 shitty Call of Duty games in a row, but I'm glad that it's finally coming into fruition with generic choppers over jungle with the obligatory Brian Williams-esque RPG helicopter shot. But then we're jebaited into the actual setting of the game, which is in 1981 during the espionage section of the Cold War, which is where Treyarch stepped in to take over with the turmoil behind the scenes, documented by Jason Schreier as to why we're getting this frankenfuck of a game. There certainly isn't gameplay footage captured on the PlayStation 5, it's TV news footage from the era, those fucking liars. The dark, neo-noir aesthetic combined with the same fucking song that has already been done in a recent trailer for a piece of entertainment set in the 80s with Wonder Woman 1984 and Blue Monday, but Call of Duty has never been one for originality. However, it's almost as if the studio was scrambling so hard to get this done that they didn't have time to hire graphic designers to put lighting sources into their scenes here. Remember how cool that Hanoi map was from the original Black Ops game set at night? Said no one ever. Yet here we are essentially reliving the Bravo 6 going dark moments from the trailer of the Call of Duty game that just came out this past year, since the new game is essentially being sold on brand recognition and nostalgia only. Finally, there's some neon lights, and oh, I get it now why the trailer is so dark. Nothing ever secretive ever happens during the day. All the cool spy type shit goes down at night, right? Because no one would ever notice a plane blowing up from an explosive on a Tonka toy or a full-out car chase with shots popping off on a runway, but in an underground bunker tunnel, that's probably more believable. Then we get a transition shot into a breach and clear style mission, but there are tons of references to The Red Door, which is the alpha code name for the game on the PlayStation Store, with this weird virtual reality type clip. Oh, it's going to be another one of those mindfuck campaigns, isn't it? And now it's another Vietnam-era cock tease with helis on aircraft carriers, and welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker! Now we're in a boardroom with a US president that isn't crazy. Well, at least not with this one in 1981. You'd have to wait another 5 years for that. But he recites the line that all Call of Duty fans, especially the esports ones, have for Treyarch with, "I know you won't fail us," as if they have amnesia from the game before Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War dropping in November, after the past few games have graced us with October releases because the development of this title has been fucked beyond all belief, hence the late reveal. But there's going to be a beta at some point, first on PlayStation because Sony and Activision are both spelt with $signs, and they talk far away in the blog post that this game is actually going to be $70 for PS5 and Xbox Series X versus $60 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which makes no sense to charge more for better hardware capabilities of the software when this game is $60 on PC without locking more graphical options behind a $10 paywall. I'm glad that Activision, a company that made record profits while simultaneously laying off 800 plus workers, feels the need to charge even more money for their games in spite of shoveling in macro, not micro, transactions into their game with a price purchase barrier to entry. Of course, here we end with another montage before some more dredging up of nostalgia, this time for the Black Ops 2 multiplayer reveal with the lone soldier running in a desert-type map before going full-on Mad Max to really stick to the 80s theme, and an homage to the chopper gunner animation, which will have to wait until September to get any 411 about the only mode that most Call of Duty players actually give a shit about, except for the zombies community, which has now moved on to doing Easter eggs in Warzone as a marketing ploy to get people invested into their next title early. Because who the fuck played co-op survival when it was only relegated to 1 out of the 3 platforms? I mean, just give me a fucking beta, demo, to try out, so we'll see how the game actually is without it being crafted by people whose intention is selling a product and not accurate representation of said product.